bet. I appreciate you guys having me.
I wanted to get to, I don't want to spend a lot of time on the San Diego State game. I imagine in particular, the first half of that, you just as soon prefer to forget.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I guess because I think all of us had hopes that would go better than it did. I think
right.
there's an old bromide that I heard a coach tell me about 20 years ago. He said, you're never as good as you look in a big win, and you're never as bad as you'll look in a bad loss. Do you generally find that to be true?
I don't know. I just, things are all relative. I think, what had a lot to do with it is us just self-destructing. You turn the ball over on your own field, on side of the field. I think around the 10-yard line twice, and then you throw an interception for a touchdown. You can't spot people at 21 points like that. I think it's 17 points they scored off those. I think we held one of them to field goal. Just being careless with the football and, mental mistakes and then a lot of that, there's so many mental mistakes, and things that we just, backed ourselves into a hole that made it very, very difficult. And so then you take a team, last year, I think it was 14-11 or something like that to score. You're playing one of the best defenses. So when you make those kind of errors, it makes you look really bad in a hurry. And we just, we played really undisciplined football. And, that's something we haven't put together a complete game yet, in my opinion. We have a lot, but I tell you this, we got a lot of potential. We've got to get our guys to buy into taking care of the football and being disciplined in our assignments. And the big thing is a vast majority of our guys are. There's some extraordinary things. We got guys, in different areas, really playing hard and doing some great things. I think we set a school record for 15 TFLs in one game. So there's lots of really positive things and positive play. It's the things that are killing us are penalties, costly penalties, and critical errors where we're not protecting our quarterback. Fundamentally, we're not playing well up front on the offensive line. And that execution part has really hurt us. So, you look at the games, Fresno is a very good football team. We beat them very well. And I think we executed and did some good things there. New Mexico, we executed offensively and did some good things there. And, but then we can't seem to put together a complete game, offense, defense, and special teams. And so that's what we got to keep working. And we're looking to do this week. We got a great opportunity against Boise to do that. But I think a lot of it too, I got to give San Diego State a lot of credit. They were a very physical team. Their defense is the real deal. They really, I think they have the number one ranked defense in the country. And that's not just this year. They played really good defense last year. So, you're just not going to have a chance against a really, really good football team. It was the best team we'd played so far, by self-destructing and not playing disciplined football. And that's something that, we've got to get out of that, get that healed up in a hurry.
Want to remind everybody we're on both radio on ESPN Honolulu on 1420, and you can call us on there. And if you're watching on Zoom, feel free to text and we'll relay your text to the coach. We have Julie, I think, on the phone. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Coach. I was just wondering, our offensive line was so good last year, and we had them all come back. So what did we change between last year and this year when we got new coaches? What changes happened, and should we go back to what we did before? Because we did so well last year. That's right.
Thanks, Julie.
Yeah, obviously we're not playing, very well up front. That's that. I think a lot of it is the difference in how the pass protections and what pass protections we're doing, what we're trying to accomplish, and obviously we got different personnel in the skill positions and what we're doing. And so, we're basically just not executing the things that we need to execute. And it wouldn't matter what offense we're running right now. It's fundamentally, I think of the lack of development and practice and things that we've had. We're really struggling there. And that, I thought that would be a strength for us. And it's not, we've not gotten it done from that standpoint. And so, the games that we have done well, offensively. I think there's been rhythm. There's been things we've been able to protect the quarterback and do some things. And so, that's kind of, that's a great point. I think the biggest thing, anytime you change is tough. We haven't, fundamentally, we've got to do a better job. It's like, one or two mental mistakes that's causing breakdowns and protections and those type of things. And so, at times, we show great promise, and then we just got to eliminate the mental errors and the mistakes. So, and we got to get better because it is a different year, a different team. Obviously it's not, I would tell you that, I didn't anticipate a lot of the challenges we've had, but a lot of that too has to do with San Diego State. And, I think we scored 10 points, we scored 14 last year. So, I think a lot of that had to do with them. I think what accentuates the loss is just the turnovers and giving up, putting our defense in that big a hole is what makes it difficult. So we've got to get better at what we're doing, no question. That's an area where we've got to focus and we've got to get better at executing.
Coach, I was been asked this. I go to the supermarket and people are asking me, you did get sacked, suffered 7 sacks last week. And frankly, if it hadn't been for Chevin Cordero being pretty nimble back there, it could have been worse. And which made you think, and people are asking me, does it have anything to do with last year they'd be in a 2-point stance as opposed to 3-point stance? My answer is I'll ask the coach, but I don't think that explains it. Are they being asked to do different things?
It's not all on the offensive line either. I mean, we're holding the ball. I mean, there's a lot of other factors. I mean, we've got quick passing game called, so we're supposed to catch and throw it, and we're getting sacked on that. And so, it's just, we basically are not executing, playing poorly, turning the football over, and you get behind quickly. And that you build up against a team like that. We knew going into playing a team like that, the way they're going to play defense, the way they're going to pound the football. We gave up 2 big long runs on defense. Other than that, I mean, thought our guys, really battled well. And yet, when somebody's going to line up, run the ball 60 times, I thought our guys battled and rose up to that challenge. But the difference in the ball game was the turnovers. The interception for a touchdown, the sacks and negative plays on offense, penalties, those type of things, just really not playing that kind of discipline we need. And to have discipline as a football team to execute anything, it requires practice. And I think there are things when you have, it's new people working with them and all that good stuff. And, I'm not one to make a lot of excuses about things. We're 2-2 and we've got to get better. And, I think that we got beat by a team last week that played a heck of a lot better than we did Saturday. But what caused that is just self-inflicted wounds that makes it difficult. And those are things we can correct and get corrected. So it's not, I don't like, there's things we got to improve defensively. There's things got to improve special teams wise. And there's things we got to improve on offense. And obviously the one that sticks out the most is because when you're turning the ball over and you're getting sacked and those type of things are happening, that makes it challenging. And obviously that's what sticks out to people. And heck, it does to me too. I can tell you this, it was something that didn't sit well with me, and we've just got to work and get better. And we got to eliminate the critical errors and the mental errors that are contributing to that. But it's not just one area. We've got to get the ball off on time. We got to get in rhythm. And I think, against New Mexico, we did that. We were throwing the ball with rhythm. We're doing similar things. I do think that a lot of it too is trying to do too much, and too much last year is not the same as too much this year with the lack of practice and all the things that, you have different people practice all the time. And obviously that makes it challenging. This year is more challenging than ever. So as coaches, we got to find that median, and we spend a lot of time on that. And because we went in that game confident coming off how we played against New Mexico, but you're playing against a different opponent too. I mean, and that's we've played against two really, really stellar defenses in Wyoming and San Diego State, and we've not responded well. And we've got to get better at that. And it's about fundamentals. It's about discipline, and it's things that we can improve. And so that's that thing. You just got to keep going to work, keep working at it.
Coach, we have another caller on the line. Mike, you're on with Coach Graham. Go ahead.
Hey, aloha, Coach. Nice to talk to you. I was great state of Texas for 2 years. I was at Fort Bliss, Texas, El Paso. But
Awesome.
I've been a Warrior fan for a long time. Came home from the Army in '82 and been a Hawaii fan ever since. Bobby knows it. I'm AKA Mike from Mcdonald. I just want to say, I was watching Cordero out there, and every time he get hit, I flinch because they're coming after him hard. Every time he got cracked, I said, please get up, please get up. But, I'm just fighting for him, and I'm hoping that Boise don't take a page out of SDSU and come after him hard like that, too. So I'm hoping that the boys can protect him and do a better job of protecting him, and we can move the ball. I wish you folks luck, and God bless.
God bless you. I appreciate your call, and I will tell you this: Chevin is a very courageous young man, very tough young man. It didn't take me long to identify. Probably the quickest I've ever named a starting quarterback since I've been in coaching, and it had a lot to do with him. And so it is very difficult, though. I can tell you, when you start getting hit that many times in one game, I was kind of with you. I mean, I was concerned about him as well. He's a tough guy and handles it well, but that's obviously not what we want to have happen. And I'll tell you, San Diego State, what they do, even though they have a new coach, they're pretty much running the same defense they've ran, and it's the defense that Rocky Long built there, and they've got pretty good personnel running it. So Chevin, it was tough, but I tell you this, he kept coming every snap. He never ever complains about anything. He's always positive towards his teammates, and we've got a great leader there and something to build upon. And that is the key, is for us to get the ball out on time. Now, what happens when your quarterback starts getting hit? They start giving up on the plays, and it starts affecting their play. And I think that those are the things that compounded the situation. But there's no question we've got to do a better job of protecting him. And one of the things that hurt us was our inability to run the football, and that makes it even more difficult because they're lining up and bringing people and twisting and stunning all over, and then it just kind of snowballs downhill. So I think that one of the things I am confident in is his toughness. And how he keeps getting back up, but that's our big focus. We've got to get the ball out on time. We got to protect him. And the biggest thing is get him in rhythm, and that's been a challenge. Obviously this season, to get everybody coordinated and playing together. And at times we've showed great promise there, and then at times it makes you really look bad when you're turning the football over and getting negative plays.
Coach, we do have another caller on the line, but we've got to take a timeout. So we'll ask Eddie to stay on the line with us. If you're on Zoom, you will be able to have Chris Hart joining us. And you are listening to Call the Coach on ESPN Honolulu.
All right, thank you very much, Bobby. Actually, we're on Facebook Live. Well, we don't have the link out for Zoom. So if you want to watch Facebook Live, check it out, or ESPN Honolulu on 92.7 FM and 1420 AM, also on Spectrum Digital Channel 884, and on Hawaiian Tel, and on the Sideline Hawaii app. There's so many different distribution points, I can't remember them all. But what I can remember to do is give away great prizes right now. We've got some gift certificates for Geb Cafe. That's on North King Street, and and if you see it, it looks like this. Can you see that? Oh, you can't see it with the background. Anyway, Geb is spelled G-U-I-E-B. So you wouldn't be like Gooey-eb. It would be Geb. Geb Cafe gift certificate, $25 worth. Text me the answer to this question now at 296-1420. Who was the leading rusher for the University of Hawaii football team last year? Text it in right now. And I'll even give you a hint. He's on this year's football team. Who was the leading rusher? 296-1420. Don't call that in. This is a text contest for you folks watching on Facebook Live. Okay? All right, that's our first question. There's a little bit of a delay, so we'll get a winner in a second. Okay, I have another question. Now, this is, since it was the NBA draft today, can you tell me who the highest draft pick in the NBA draft from the University of Hawaii was? Who was the highest draft pick we've ever had, basketball-wise? Oh, it's so easy. 296-1420, the number to send that in. Bobby's playing along, but he's got mute on, so he can't win the $25 gift certificate for Geb Cafe. Okay, now here's your third trivia question. We're going to try and get in 3. This is somebody Chemo got Miles Reed. Congratulations. The answer to our first question, Bam Bam Reed, leading rusher last year, something like 962 yards, almost 1,000 yards last year. Chemo, good job. We'll get in touch with you and send you out your gift certificate. Thank you very much. Okay. Our next question was the draft question. And our third question, which University of Hawaii quarterback threw 80 interceptions in his career? Which University of Hawaii quarterback threw 80? He threw 80 interceptions. Who was that? All right. We'll get the answers here and congratulate the winners next segment. Back to Bobby and Coach. Unmute, please.
I thank you, Chris, and hopefully people will come up. You were right. That one basketball question is an easy one. Okay, I've got somebody who's texted in on Facebook Live, but I have a guy holding on the radio, and that's Eddie. Eddie, you're on with Coach Graham. Do we have Eddie? Okay, I'm not hearing anything. Maybe I should just go to the Facebook Live question. And but you haven't finished. I haven't finished getting the typing on that one. I think I could fill in the rest of it, but I'll wait until we have the complete question up. So go ahead when you get it, Keegan. When we have Eddie, do you have Eddie? Okay, hi Eddie. You're on with Coach Graham.
Hi. Aloha, Coach. My call. Ask how you found the recruiting process so far since you've been with the team, and with the Hawaii high school season postponed till January, how has that affected recruiting locally?
Well, I've got a son that's going to be a senior at Kaiser, so I'm hoping he gets to play in January and his senior year. So I'll tell you, recruiting, it's been the COVID has been very difficult, obviously, because it's all just online and to be able to recruit, you can't get out, you can't go see schools, you can't do any of those things, can't have anybody on campus. So it's pretty much just by phone, and we've worked hard to try to do that as well. We've also, NCAA gave the seniors another year. So obviously we only have 85 scholarships. So, trying to balance all the numbers and all those type things has been challenging, but obviously, that's, our focus is right here in Hawaii, and people that we got guys that, that have gone to the mainland and then, looking to transfer back, things like that. We want people that love this place and want to represent this state and this university. So that's first and foremost what we've tried to focus on. And then obviously guys that fit our ideals, what we're about. We're a program, really have been impressed with these young men and how they've embraced the values that our program's about, character, integrity, honor and discipline. And so that's what we're looking for. Recruiting has gone very well. We've done well. I can't actually talk specifically about commitments or things like that, but we feel really good about the additions we have right now. And then, it's been kind of a waiting game because, kids really don't know what to do. They're waiting to visit, and it keeps getting pushed back, and we can't go out and recruit. They can't come here. And it's really difficult to choose a university when you haven't met the coaching staff in person, and they haven't got to see the university, see our place. So we're hoping that, things will, trend better with COVID, and eventually we can get that lifted and make it where it's safe to have people visit and come here and get back to recruiting hard. But we'll recruit the best and the brightest with the best character from right here. Be first and foremost our focus, and people that are tied here. It's important. I think it's important. To me, it's a big deal to have people that love this university, that want to play for the University of Hawaii. And so those are the people who be first and foremost on our list.
Coach, we have a text here, and I have a feeling I might be able to anticipate your answer, because it's looking down the road a little bit. Coach, besides winning, I want to know your plan to how you can bring more students to the student section as well as all the fans.
Well, I can tell you, that's one of the things that I can tell you that is very odd right now, is playing in a stadium, especially Aloha Stadium, empty. It's really odd. They pipe in crowd noise and things like that. So, I'm looking forward to the day we get all of our fans back. And one of the things I think is really, really important is the game day atmosphere. And who drives the game day atmosphere is the band, the cheerleaders, and the students. And so that's something to be a major priority. It's a challenge. Because obviously there's a distance between our campus and Aloha Stadium. And so, as soon as we had planned on going and visiting, all the fraternities and sororities and different, groups on campus, inviting them out to practice and all that. We can't do any of that now. So hopefully when that all gets lifted, I think that's something that's very important. I'm one of those guys that's just one handshake at a time. I think that's how you get people support. Obviously, we need to win and be successful is the number one way. But this is their university, and that's something that's really important to me. And I want to, that's the thing that when I came and I started watching the film from last year and looking that it kind of took me back, because when I was head coach at Tulsa, we'd come out here and play back in the early 2000s. Man, that thing would be, even during the season, it would, there'd be, 35,000 people in there. And then obviously when I came to the Hawaii Bowl and things like that, and very difficult place to play. So the students are vital to that, and that experience of coming here. I think that's important that our students that know this is their football team. I'm surely honored to be their coach, and man, we want to compete for their support, and we need to get everyone up there. And that's to all of our games, support all of our sports. That to me, what the collegiate experience is all about. And so I'm going to work hard, one handshake at a time. And as soon as I can start handshaking again, we'll get on that. But I think there's things that we can do, and it is a challenge that you have, two locations, and that you don't have a stadium on campus. So, but with that challenge comes great opportunity to figure out a way to get it done, and we'll work hard to do that, and we'll do it through building relationships and trying to create excitement and fun for them when they do get back to the stadium.
Thank you, Coach. We have Neil on the line. Hey, Neil, you're on with Coach Graham.
Hi, I enjoy your show, and I want to listening to all the comments on the radio. I think that from what you just said, San Diego State had a seasoned defense, and especially their front seven. So, I played in high school and in 1 year in college, and if I was the quarterback, I wouldn't have even gone that far. I wouldn't have played throughout the whole game, I think, if I was getting roughed up like that. Take my hat off to our quarterback. It's really tough, and it's easy to talk about things, but when you're out on the field, it's totally different.
Yes, it is.
I take my hat off to you and to all the players, because, what do you have to say about that?
Well, yeah, I appreciate your comments. I mean, obviously, like I said, Chevin is a courageous young man doing a great job. His toughness and how he's handled all that, and he also, one of the things that I'm impressed with him, just when he does have the ball and running the football, he's been one of our most effective rushers. But and two, his leadership. One of the things that happens when you have a lot of newness, a new system, all the challenges that have come with with COVID and all that stuff, no excuses come from him. He's very demanding of himself. He's got a high character, young man of great integrity, and that's one of the things that I think gives us great promise. And we just got to get better and get better around him. But a lot of times when you have that and a quarterback's getting pressure on him and getting hit like that, they respond in a different way than what he does. He responds like a champion, never complains, never points fingers. I call him a thumb pointer. He's always pointing at himself and working hard to try to get himself better. So, I appreciate those comments, and obviously we're working hard to get better every day, and we're looking forward to a great opportunity ahead of us, playing the team that's probably been the team that set the standard in this in the Mountain West for, I don't know, 2 decades. Is this week coming here to Aloha Stadium. And so I think they have the longest conference winning streak in the country at 14. So obviously I think we played the best team that we had played to this point last week. And I think this team that we're playing this week's better. So, we've got to get better in a hurry. We've worked hard. We've had a great week of practice. No excuses. Our guys have worked hard that's our coaches, players, everybody's working hard to get better. And to go out there and to represent, our university and our state the way we should.
Coach, we have, thanks for the call. We have a text. This is Dan from Kapolei. Coach, you're a breath of fresh air with how you embrace college football and love the whole collegiate university environment. Could we please stick with the UH Manoa colors for uniforms, which is green and white? Love the white on white road unis in the Fresno game.
Well, that was kind of that's kind of my deal. I actually I'm a traditionalist. Obviously our players like the black uniforms and all that. I think our students and a lot of our fans do when they voted on it. I would be probably leaning towards our fan there that's texting. That's why we actually got those late, those white pants, and I wanted to try to have a white helmet. I like white on white with a white helmet and white shoes. When I was growing up and playing, there were no white shoes. They were all black shoes, Rydell's, Viking shoes. A lot of people out there, over 50 know what I'm talking about. And then Adidas came out with some white shoes. And so I always loved white shoes. And so we have black shoes, we have black helmet. Hopefully in the future, we'll get some green and white going. And that's something that I really like. I love back in the day when they had the green helmet with the Hawaii H on the side of it. I really like that helmet. I've got a whole little mini helmets in my office. I sit here and look at every day of all the different helmets. I like the old Rainbow Warrior with the rainbow, the white, especially the white on white with the rainbow, or in the decal with the Rainbow Warrior decal. So I'm kind of a traditionalist, and hopefully in the future we can do some things, maybe some throwback things like that. And but obviously the tradition of our colors being green and white is something that's important to me. And but a lot of those things, I actually don't make all those decisions. A lot of that's made by our marketing people, and kind of was already set in place when I got here. But we'll work hard to make sure the people that do believe and are traditional like me, that we have a say.
Coach, we have another text for you here. This is Donald from Reno, Nevada. Why is Derek Thomas or Mason Vega not playing? Both had great stats last year.
Yeah, Mason Vega's out for the season with an injury. He's already had to have surgery, and so he's out for the season. Derek Thomas was playing on our defensive line early, And then we actually switched him over to offense and did some things at tight end. And but he's a guy that's a solid player for us. But we've used him in different ways. On our defense, really way we structured our defense and changed our front, it kind of left him kind of in between positions, too small to play on the defensive line, and then just kind of a tweener as far as being a linebacker. And so he's a great kid, works hard, really a guy that, we try to utilize as a pass rusher. He's a great young man, and he's done everything we've asked him to do. He actually is playing tight end right now. So he's playing some tight end and trying to help us in those situations and short yardage and run situations where we need to be able to create a broad block of service by putting him in there. But he's a good young man, and very, very proud to be his coach. And I don't know. I know that I think the schematic change defensively was different. We actually came in and took the guys like Darius Busau and Corey Bethley, and we started to develop a system around kind of the guys that we thought could give us the best chance to be successful. And sometimes when that happens, guys can kind of be left where they trying to figure out where they fit. And that's probably where you're seeing that. But he's actually a couple of weeks ago, we asked him to go over there and help us out. And that's what he's doing right now.
Coach, he has laid some hat when he is a lead blocker for some of your guys. I just didn't realize how good a blocker he would end up being.
Yeah, he's a team player. I know that. Not many guys would want to do that or be for doing that. And he's a great young man, and very pleased with his attitude. Not many young people will do that, and that sometimes change is tough, and a lot of those things like that. It doesn't always, it's not always best for everybody. And then to take a young man like that that's played a lot on defense. To go over and do that for us tells you what a great team player he is.
Okay, we have another text that's come in. This is Jim from Kamuki. What are some of the adjustments that the defense needs to make for this week and going forward, scheme-wise and personnel-wise?
I think defensively, I'll tell you, I've been really proud of how the effort that our guys have given us, really showing great strides. I thought we played really well week one. I even thought against Wyoming, our guys really played, extraordinary and faced unbelievable adversity. It didn't, we gave up big plays. We had a busted coverage against New Mexico, gave up a touchdown, another busted alignment. So the last 2 weeks, we've had 4 big plays for touchdowns that we've given up. And those count. You don't get to say, well, you played good defense other than those. Well, that all counts. So we got to be more consistent. And we've got to make sure, people are going to break the line of scrimmage. That, as good a running backs as we've got in this league and the personnel in this league, you can't give away points. And so we got to make sure we line up right. We're fundamentally sound. And eliminate those big plays. And we're giving up a couple each game in the last two games that we played in. So that's the number one thing, is to eliminate those errors. And a lot of it, when they broke the runs last week, we missed 4 tackles on each one of them. I mean, we've got to tackle. We've got to get the guy down. You're gonna play with the running backs we have in this league. They're going to break the line of scrimmage, and you got to get them down. Some of that, we've not been very healthy at safety, and we've had to play different guys, and getting people at the right spots is big. But we've had, a lot of guys that I think playing at a really high level on defense. Darius being one of them, and I hate to point out just individual players, but I've been really pleased with the toughness and their mentality of how they've approached the change, and we've adapted the scheme to them and to fit them. And I do think we're progressing and getting better. We got to get better fundamentally and eliminate those couple of big play touchdowns and not have the blown coverages. And we got to tackle. We got to get guys down when they're in open field.
Coach, I just wanted to mention, because I've been so impressed, and when a guy's coming out of a lower division of football, You always say, well, is he going to be able to make the transition? But I think Quentin Frazier has been a revelation.
He's been outstanding. He really has been. He's been outstanding, and he's getting better every day. I've been very, very pleased with how he's played. We've got guys playing at, corner. We got guys playing at safety. Got guys playing at linebacker. Guys up front that are really. I mean, I think there's not one person that I don't think hasn't gotten better. Obviously, some of the injuries, losing Eugene was a big deal for us. And in some spots, we've been out there with the third and fourth team safety on the field. And so, and that's so critical. And those guys have really, I mean, I've been impressed with those guys, how they've come in. But Quentin Frazier's been, and what a great story, and a great young man, and a tough guy too. I mean, he's been hurt and played through, pain and injury, and I've been very proud of him. He's been a warrior. We got a bunch of them, and we're laying a great foundation there. I've talked to them a lot about that. The key is get better every single day and keep grinding, keep working, and we just got to eliminate the mental errors or the critical errors in alignment. And then the number one thing would be the missed tackles. I mean, we have people in position. We just, we just miss tackles in the open field, and you can't do that and give up cheap ones. And the first couple of weeks, we didn't do that. We got them down when they got in the open field. And so that's something we've got to work hard to get better. But I'm really proud of our guys and the effort they're giving us. And, just keep getting better every day. Just keep chopping at it each day. And, we're going to build something special because we're going to do it the right way.
Coach, I don't think anybody who's watching this defense could fault their want to at all. I mean, doesn't even matter what the score is, how late in the game. Those guys are, I thought some of the best plays they made against the Aztecs were in the second half.
Yeah, they don't, I'll tell you, there's times that, and I've been doing this a long time, that I've sat there this year and went like, wow. And our whole team, it faced adversity, and then usually you're having to, when you get behind and you throw an interception for a touchdown, you turn the ball over on your own 10-yard line, you get behind 14, 21 points like that. A lot of times, especially when you're new, you can, guys get real quiet, and they can check it in a lot of situations. And not only did our guys not check it in, man, I can hear them encouraging each other and fighting and scratching and showing great resolve. And that's something that I think gives us great promise, because we got a core of players in this program that have tremendous character and toughness.
Coach, we're going to invite Chris Hart back into the program here. We're going to take a quick timeout. This is Call the Coach on ESPN Honolulu.
Okay, all righty. Hey, we're going to have some more prize giveaways. Now, you guys who won already, please give someone else a chance and let them guess on these. By the way, the answers to our trivia questions last segment: leading rusher last year, Miles Bam Bam Reed. The University of Hawaii's highest NBA draft pick was back in 1974, Thomas Henderson, 7th pick overall by the Atlanta Hawks. Bob Nash was up there. He was a 9th pick overall by the Pistons. Let's see, what was our third trivia question? Oh, which quarterback for the University of Hawaii threw 80 interceptions in his career? Timmy Chang. And I think it's a record that still stands. It's in our last conversation with Timmy, somebody broke his touchdown record, and he was hoping that somebody would have broke his interception record first. But Timmy Chang, the answer to that. All right, we're giving away more gift certificates, $25 gift certificates for Geb Cafe. Everybody's talking about this place. It's spelled Guieb. It looks like Guieb, but it's pronounced Geb. And they have great breakfast. They've got prime rib. They've got all kinds of stuff there. So here's the trivia question. You must answer at 296-1420. Which UH receiver scored 41 touchdowns in his career? What University of Hawaii receiver scored 41 touchdowns in his career? I'll give you a hint. It was between 2005 and 2007. Played 2005 to 2007. Text in your answer to 296-1420. I'm keeping my eye on the text line. Okay, that's number one. Number two, also for a gift certificate at Geb Cafe. Who is the career scoring leader for University of Hawaii football? Who scored the most points in all for University of Hawaii football? Somebody checked it in. Ashley Lally for the first one. No, that's not correct. 2005 to 2007, this receiver had 41 touchdowns. Our other question, who is the career scoring leader for UH? And think about this. If you look in the NFL or you look at your favorite team, what players scored the most points in the history of this team? Think about what position they play. That's your hint. All right. We'll take your questions at answers at 296-1420. In the meantime, back to Bobby and the coach on Call the Coach on ESPN Honolulu. Off of mute, boys. Go for it.
Unmuted. There we go. And we're going to encourage you. Go ahead and call us if you have something for Coach Graham at 296-1420. If you're on Facebook Live, you can text us and we'll relay the text in exact form. And Coach, I wanted to get just for a second on to Boise because they're coming in here on Saturday. What's interesting, the approach they're taking, they're not getting here till Friday evening. And then they're going to just get a meal, go out and get a night's sleep and get out to the stadium and play. It's an unusual approach. I haven't seen many people do it, but the pandemic's changing everything.
Yeah, I mean, that I'll be real honest with you, that's how I'm used to doing it. We always would go the day before and get there, somewhere before dinner and then eat dinner and get up the next day and go play. I think, whatever's in your normal routine you're used to is probably the best way to do those things. Obviously, our travel's different here. And there's obviously some things you have to do. I think probably the biggest thing that we try to do is hydrate our guys and make sure that we're, doing everything we can to keep them prepared to play the game. And so, they've obviously, I think they have probably the best record, one of the best records in the country over the last few years. So I wouldn't fault whatever they're doing because they've done it pretty well. But and I think they have most of their guys back. They had some guys out last week. I think most of their guys will be back and they'll be ready to go. And we're excited about the opportunity to compete against a team that's been the front runner and the best in our league for a while. And that gives us a great opportunity to go out and to take a giant step forward as a program. And so we've worked hard this week in preparing to do that. And I know our guys, I can tell our guys are excited about the opportunity and ready to get back out there and get better.
Coach, if I just thought we'd get into a little bit of their personnel. You were undoubtedly watching tape or aware of it, but they were missing a lot of guys, including their first two quarterbacks. Yeah. The one was out entirely, Bachmeier, and then Jack Sears, the USC transfer, he got hurt in the second series. It was 7-0, and they just couldn't do anything. In fact, what their play-by-play guys, I couldn't tell you how good BYU's defense is because we didn't have any offense. We had a kid that had never been playing college football before. So it was difficult, but I don't think if people who are taking it to bed like, oh boy, they got blown by BYU, I think you need to kind of look a little deeper.
Yeah, they obviously were on their fourth team quarterback actually played in that game. And Bachmeier, their quarterback, he's the key. I mean, obviously when he came back, he settles everything down. A tremendous operator, knows how to disperse the ball, a typical, Boise State quarterback who operates, takes what the defense gives him, obviously displaces the ball to his receivers, very talented receiving core, very explosive. Most of the way, I think, their total offense and all that, you can look at all those things are down, obviously, because I think it had a lot to do with COVID and people being out and the game with BYU, but they're 19th in the country in scoring points, and they get big plays. So I think he's the key to what they're doing, and I think him being out was a major issue, and then having their second and third and then their fourth team quarterback, I think is what you look at that BYU game. I think that's one that you really can't put much on when you're playing with your fourth team quarterback. Anybody would struggle for sure, but they're a very good football team. They played very well. They blocked 2 punts, blocked a field goal last week. Personnel wise on offense, very explosive at receiver, very physical running game. We got three different running backs that they're going to roll in there that do a great job, that are very physical, and they're 4 or 5 yards a pop. They're averaging almost 5 yards a run. So they're going to pound, be physical inside, play action pass. And then the big thing is not giving up a reverse, not giving up a trick play, not giving up a shot, because that's really how they score. And I think they're number 1 in red zone offense. So the key is to keep them out of that red zone, because they're very efficient scoring down there. So very well coached. I've competed against them for years, and their offense is still very similar to what they ran when Coach Pete was there, and lots of movement and shifts, and very disciplined and well coached football team. So the key for us is not giving up big plays from their offense. And then special teams wise, Avery blocked 2 punts, and then he's one of the most dynamic punt returners in the country. And so you got to be, you can't give up big plays in special teams either. Colorado State gave up 21 points last week just on special teams. And then defensively, they're going to be extremely physical. They're big and physical up front. Run the ball extremely well, and are very disciplined in what they do. So they're really a complete football team. Of all the people I've watched on film, they're the best all around, offense, defense, kicking game. And so with that comes great challenge. And with that challenge comes great opportunity. I can tell you, our guys are fired up. I know I am, to have an opportunity to go out and to one to build this program, but two, we've stumbled stumbled out of the blocks a little bit. We've had some positive things, but we could do a lot to move forward by going and winning this game. Be a big win for us, and so that's what we're focused on, and we're working hard this week, and as we do every week. But I'm looking forward to Saturday and competing against them. That's kind of games I want to coach in, and games that our players want to play in.
Coach, we're going to have to take a timeout. When we come back, we got a text waiting for you from Billy from Honolulu. We'll be right back. You're listening to Call the Coach on ESPN Honolulu.
All righty then. Good job. Thank you, Coach and Bobby. Congratulations to our winners. The answers to our trivia question for the Geb Cafe $25 gift certificate. Which UH receiver between 2005 and 2007 scored 41 touchdowns? 41 touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns. Devon Bess. You would have been close with Ryan Grice Mullins. I think he had about 35. I think Jason Rivers had about 35. Anyway, Devon Bess, the answer to that question. Now the answer, who is UH's scoring leader, all-time scoring leader, made the most points in the history of University of Hawaii football? Jason Elam, a man that should be in the Hall of Fame, but Jason Elam, the answer to that. Okay, now we're going to give away another Geb Cafe gift certificate at 296-1420. I'm looking for a good question here. Okay, here's one. This one might be hard. What former University of Hawaii player? Somebody just answered Jason Elam. Yeah, you're a little late. Sorry about that. But here's a question for you. Here's a question for everybody. I lost my place. Here it is. What former University of Hawaii football player opted out because of COVID-19, opted out of playing in the NFL this year? Which former UH player did that? 296-1420 is the number. I'll give you a hint. It was a lineman with a very short first name and a very long last name. I'll even tell you he played for the Jets. It seems like everybody opted out this year for the Jets, but that's not the point. Who from the University of Hawaii opted out of the NFL season? I'm watching the text line here. Okay, that's one question. Here's our other question before we give it back to Bobby and Coach. Okay, let's do this one. What team drafted Cole Mcdonald? What team drafted Cole Mcdonald? By the way, the answer to our last question, Leo Kaloamatangi, is the answer. Leo Kaloamatangi was the answer. We had two come in. The 219. You were the first in. You won. All right. Okay. So those are our questions. What team drafted Cole Mcdonald? And what former UH player opted out of the NFL? That answer is Leo Kaloamatangi. So give us a text at 296-1420, and we'll mail out your gift certificates to the winners tomorrow. Back to Coach and Bobby. Unmute, please.
Okay, go ahead. There we go. I got a text for you, Coach. This is from Billy from Honolulu. What's the difference in route running concepts in the run and shoot versus the air raid?
Well, I mean, obviously in the run and shoot, we don't run the air raid either. Our system is one. We're a run, play, action, pass team. We do a lot of air raid concepts, but the big difference in the run and shoot, the quarterback will actually do a little half row. They actually half row, and it's mostly quick rhythm throws. And I would say the difference between the run and shoot, there's more similarities between the run and shoot and the air raid than there are differences, but the biggest difference is the vertical passing down the field. Much more, for vertical and seam things in the air raid than what the run and shoot would be, and a lot more leveling routes, if you understand what I'm talking about. But both of them are very, very similar and very difficult passing schemes to defend. And probably where the run and shoot was different, is kind of evolved from what they did last year. They're doing a lot more RPOs and things like that. There's not many. Air raid is pretty much there's zero RPOs or anything like that as far as play action. So we Bari and are obviously trying to do the rhythm throws that we have right now are ones that we've tried to build upon what we've done in the past. And I think that's the key to getting us rolling. I think as we get our rhythm passing, our three and four wide receiver sets, quick passing game is what I'm talking about, rhythm throws. As when we're at the New Mexico game, we start getting that going. That's what makes everything click.
Coach, it does seem like when the rhythm passing game that allows you to have successful deep shots because everybody's cheating up and trying to control those short, whether it be short slants or outs, and then they're cheating up, and suddenly you get a guy like Zion Bowens who's just blowing the top off the defense.
Yeah, and we've hit some. One of the things that's happened to us in the games that we haven't done well, we've had big key drops on vertical passes, and it's been kind of hit or miss on some of that, and so we can't have those key drops, but we got to have a system of moving the sticks and moving the ball where we're not just dependent upon a deep pass. And so I think a lot of that is us trying to balance, hey, here's where we want to go from where we need to be right now. And I think that's what's caused is, for us, we're trying to find where that median is. And, and obviously I'm working with it every day. And that's something that I think is important is that we, our kids have the most reps at the things that they've done in the past. And we have very few reps at what we've done now. And so I think we've got to balance that. And our key is to go win the next football game and to win the next 4 football games and see where this thing turns out. And hopefully have an opportunity to play some extra games after that, whether it be play for a championship or a bowl game. And so to do that, we've got to have some consistency. And I think that's where it lies in our rhythm passing game.
Well, Coach, your guys have been resilient, if nothing else, and I expect that again Saturday at Aloha Stadium. Wish you the best of luck, and I know you guys can get a lot of attention with a really good performance against Boise State.
Well, I'm excited. I believe in these guys, and we're excited to go out there, and we're going to have fun getting after it.
For Chris Hart, for head coach Todd Graham, from all of us on ESPN Honolulu, I'm Bobby Curran. Aloha.